So many people wonder, does an avoidant attachment style actually experience jealousy? And if so, is this something they experience a lot of? What they tell you, what they talk about it? Or does a lack of expressing jealousy mean that the avoidant simply doesn't care? Well, in today's video, we are going to break down exactly that. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the avoidance experience is with jealousy, how if you try to make an avoidant jealous, it may actually impact the relationship either positively or negatively. And most importantly, we'll talk about at the end of this video how to really unpack the importance of using emotions like jealousy as feedback to create opportunities for growth in a relationship rather than have it be something that devastates a relationship instead. So if you're new to this channel, I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with somebody who might benefit. Now, one of the first things I think is so important to recognize is it's not that avoidants don't ever feel jealousy or experience it. It's just that there are a few reasons they're going to experience less of it, and they do something different than almost every other attachment style when they do feel it. So here's the first thing. The roots of jealousy often are that somebody is deeply afraid of losing something. It's a fear response, a trauma response, something, in fact, that they feel dependent on to a certain degree. So, for example, if you are somebody who's an anxious attachment style, and you feel like your partner is this person who meets your needs because you don't know how to meet your own needs and you don't have as much of a relationship to yourself, you are likely to experience more jealousy than a dismissive avoidant, because dismissive avoidants, even when they enter into relationships, often meet a lot of their own needs. So the same type of intense survival response, this deep fear that's going to come up of losing something that only that person seems to be able to bring you access to, just simply isn't there for dismissive avoidance in the same way it can be for certain other attachment styles, including fearful avoidance. Now, when you look at this a little bit deeper, the other thing that really causes jealousy to take shape is if somebody has a core wound. If somebody has this deep belief that I will be betrayed, I will be abandoned, I am not good enough, I'll be unloved. Well, if something seems to threaten your relationship, it doesn't just threaten your needs that you feel dependent on the relationship for, but it also triggers up those core wounds, which now really salts the wound. It causes a lot more suffering. And so we have these two root causes of jealousy, which dismissive avoidants just have less of when it comes to other people. They have less abandonment fears. They have less, betrayal fears. Yes, they definitely have their own core wounds and triggers, fears of being trapped or seen as shameful or defective. There are definitely some big core fears there, but they're less to do with other people and more to do with the relationship to themselves or staying in control of their reality. So you'll see that number one, dismissive avoidants do tend to experience jealousy slightly less than other attachment styles on average. But there's a second really important part to this, and it's that what they do with when they feel jealousy also causes them to express it outwardly completely differently than you would generally see with other attachment styles. So we all know that dismissive avoidants largely do something called deactivating, meaning they will keep making excuses to shut down, to push away, to keep people at arm's length. Because in childhood, when they were not able to get their needs met from their caregivers, their adaptation, in other words, what they did that then created relief for them, was to shut down, push away, become hyper independent. And it was in doing those things that they found a certain degree of relief or emotional freedom. In other words, it seemed easier for them to not need somebody they felt they couldn't rely on than to keep needing somebody that they can't rely on anyways. It's almost like, okay, well, if I just don't rely on you, at least I feel like things are back in my control. At least I have some relief from this yearning for something I'm never getting access to. And so as a result, dismissive avoidant attachment styles, whenever they feel distressed, they've actually been conditioned, deeply wired, in other words, to learn that if somebody in a relationship makes me feel stressed, when I push them away and keep them at arm's length and minimize my attachment needs to the person, it seems to create relief. So this becomes their go-to coping mechanism, in other words, deactivating. And this, of course, isn't any different when it comes to the concept of jealousy. When somebody makes them feel jealous and they don't like that feeling, how are they going to respond? Well, of course, they're going to respond by shutting down, minimizing their attachment needs, pushing away. And it is in doing that that they feel like they have some sort of A, control, B, relief, and C, freedom and independence from the burden of emotions. But is this the healthy approach? Is this what we should do? As soon as you feel jealousy or anything like that in a relationship, just shut down, push somebody away, don't say anything, deactivate? Well, of course not. Now, there are two arguments here, right? The first argument is that if somebody's constantly trying to make you jealous on purpose, sure, it might be the wrong relationship. It may very well so be time to walk away. And that might be the healthiest approach, especially if we're talking about narcissism here and somebody intending to make you feel bad for their own sake, just to feel like they have the upper hand. I mean, of course, that's toxic stuff. But jealousy is going to be a part of relationships from time to time. Hopefully, not a big part, but it's probably pretty unrealistic to think that you're going to go through a 40-year marriage with somebody and never feel a degree of jealousy. A quick side note here, if you want to dive in fully for free to any attachment style healing course, or even any of our courses that are all about the roadmap to healing your attachment style or learning about other people's attachment style and how to do the best relationship with them possible, and make sure that you have all the resources available to you on your side, you can check out fully for free, just for a limited time, all of our attachment style healing courses, along with every course and every event at PDS on a weekly basis. Fully for free, just for a limited time. We do this once or twice a year, and we have this 14-day free trial running right now, specifically for Valentine's Day month. So if you want to check those things out, download some of the courses, dive into the resources while they're available to you, that free trial link is down below. So how do we approach jealousy from a secure perspective? Well, here's what we do. Number one, we use the emotion as feedback. Emotions are telling us that something is out of alignment. And so when we can feel our emotions, and rather than try to dissociate or deflect them by avoiding them or drinking or escaping them or binge watching television or binge eating food or all these things that people do to cope and avoid their emotions, rather than doing that, we use the emotion as feedback. It's a mirror into ourselves. And we say, wait, what's going on here? And then what we do from there is let our partner know, or whoever we're feeling jealous around a relationship with, we let that person know, hey, this situation's uncomfortable for me. Can we set a boundary? Can you maybe meet the need for me to be reassured? Or if something feels confusing, can you bring some transparency or context to this? I may be misinterpreting it. So jealousy in a healthy, secure relationship is actually a call to communicate. It's a call to listen to your emotions, realize what it is that is out of alignment, what you need to solve for that, and be able to bring that to your partner. And in a healthy relationship, your partner is supposed to listen. So if you go to your partner and you say, look, I noticed you're really friendly with this person this evening at this get together, and it's making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Could we set a boundary and could you give me a little reassurance and maybe just take a little bit of a step back from how much you're engaging with this person? It would make me feel a lot better. In that case, a healthy person is going to go, oh, I didn't realize. I'm really sorry. And I can see that. And I'll definitely be more mindful and respectful of that. And then they'll probably go on to reassure you and tell you that they love you or care. Now, of course, I'm not saying like you're 2 weeks into dating and you're doing this, but in a committed partnership, these are the conversations we should be having. And vulnerability and leading with that vulnerability is part of the foundation that allows these conversations to evolve. And so if you're somebody who is looking to grow into this in your relationship, take that first step, have those conversations. And if the person is meant to be, a healthy person with you and grow the relationship with you, they'll respond in really, really great ways. If they aren't, then you're going to come to know by having those conversations in the first place and seeing how that person actually shows up. So I hope this is a helpful video for you today. Let me know in the comments, what are your experiences with jealousy based on your attachment style? What do you find to be super important here? And let me know any other content you want to see in the comments down below, because I will make future videos about it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like, share, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video all about the fearful avoidant. Thanks for watching.